back in Notre Dame, if you thought it was going to be a blowout, some Husker fans did. Not so. A good one, 21-14 in this historic matchup. First time the Huskers have come to this stadium since 1947. And a big third and one rather, coming up from the 33. So far the Huskers are 1 for 2 on the short yardage plays. Third down. Crowds will keep. That worked on the touchdown earlier. That'll work for the first down right here.
And Craig, you know what I like about the call? It's a quick count. I mean, just when you figure you're going to settle in and kind of grub in on defense and get ready for that 3rd and 1, boom, the ball snaps and you're gone. They've done that twice on the touchdown and on that 3rd and 1. You know, Eric Crouch is an easy guy to like for offensive linemen. I mean, he's as tough as they come. I mean, we were talking last week to Russ Hochstein, who said, I love this guy. I mean, he's tough. He's not a prima donna. He's a great leader. He's confident.
He does it all. He's just a junior, too, from Omaha, Nebraska. Head off to Buckalter for a yard or two.
We talked about him getting Warren Buffett's autograph a while back from Omaha. He's going to have his own moniker. You know, the sage of Omaha is Warren Buffett. We'll have to find some moniker for Eric Crouch.
Well, he left a couple of options open coming out of school. We mentioned that he went to the Notre Dame camp, went to Ohio State, but he said about here it was just a different atmosphere, a small town. Didn't seem right, and he wasn't sure if they wanted him as a quarterback. Bob Davie, who was his first year, drove him back to the airport. Crouch is from Omaha, Nebraska. People from other areas might not think of that as a larger city, but it is a little bit larger and more metropolitan than South Bend. And of course, he plays now in Lincoln, a smaller town. But home for him. Brock Buckalter for a couple.
And Brock Williams, number 1, back in the ballgame. Brock Williams, we saw him for the first time in a year last week, coming off a year's suspension. Changed his number to start a new career, if you will, at Notre Dame. Good discipline. They've done a pretty good job on the pure option plays, Craig. Forcing the pitches. That's what they want to do. They didn't want to force Crouch to pitch it. Notre Dame's defense has done a good job there.
Matt, how about the amount of times in this game Notre Dame has forced a 3rd and long?
Yeah, unusual.
That's big.
It's very unusual for Nebraska in those kind of situations. They're generally in the 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2.
Makes running the option a little more difficult from a Husker standpoint because you need a lot of yards to get the first down. 3rd and short, you can go either way. Crouch looking, throwing right. Davison, nearly picked off, but well played by Brock Williams, the left cornerback, and a force to punt as they had a pass on 3rd and long.
Back-to-back plays by Brock Williams. This is why it's hard to play corner at any level. He's up here. Watch him see him looking in. He sees it. As soon as he sees him, he drives. As soon as he sees the quarterback pull up. But the play before on the option play, Brock Williams is the one who made the stop. And then on the pass play, Brock Williams knocks it away. 2 good plays by Brock Williams.
Brock Williams, a guy who had his problems last year, set up the entire year, breaking some university rules. Davey got him in the office, told him, actually kicked him right out of the office. It's up to you. And what he has done, the way he's responded, Davey says is unbelievable. And he credits Brock's parents very strong for the support. And he's become a good player again in his senior year. So again, Waller's back. Never takes the fair catch. Finds a seam, 30. 40-yard line, Getherall. 50, fakes the kicker. He's going to the 40. He may go. Touchdown. No flags again. Second return for a touchdown for Notre Dame in this game, and it's got them within a point. The 5'7" senior who has pure speed showed it there, and he also showed an incredibly nifty move on Dan Haydenfeld, the kicker. Set up for the extra point to tie. It's good.
183 yards in returns this half by Notre Dame. A touchdown by Julius Jones on the kickoff, and this time Joey Getherall, their normal punt returner, a guy who never fair catches. And he doesn't waste any time. A quick move there, picks up a nice block. I believe that was by Tony Driver. There's the move on Haydenfield right there. And then the guy's got remarkable speed. And this guy is tough. 2 giant special teams plays. The move coming up, right up the middle. There's the move, back outside. And then a couple of Nebraska Cornhuskers had an angle on him, and Joey Getterall just outran the angle. Boy, that's... I don't blame him for missing that. That was a heck of a move.
Didn't lose an ounce of speed in the move either.
Absolutely.
Wow. Look at the bench.
We often forget that there are three phases of football. We always talk about offense and defense, special teams. For the Irish, the second half have been remarkable.
Second career punt return for a touchdown for Joey Getterall. And on a day where the offense has not really been clicking after one good series in the first half, Battle is 2 for 12 with an interception. The rushing game's been pretty effective, but it's been the special teams so far that have bailed out the Irish and got them tied with the #1 team in the country. Pick off Walker in a tie game, 2 yards deep, will take it out, try one return of his own. He's knocked out of bounds on the play. Jerome Sack.
Well, Nebraska is the #1 football team in the country. And this is when you find out a lot about the #1 team. The game is tied. It's in the fourth quarter. You're on the road, hostile crowd. And this is where a guy like Eric Crouch has to make some plays.
We'll start from the 23. Bob Davie certainly sold it to us, Pat, when we talked to him, that we're not out here just to compete.
Yeah.
We're not out here just to look good. At Notre Dame, we feel we can compete and win even this game. We know it's a tough task. We'll see. A lot of time to go still, but so far a good effort. Crouch in trouble. Denman and Boyman and the linebackers, a major effort today for Notre Dame.
Yeah, Anthony Denman, number 39, has played phenomenally. That's Ryan Roberts. And we mentioned Rocky Boyman as well. But number 39 is right here in the middle. Kind of fights through some traffic like a running back and gobbles him up. Yeah, that was Anthony Denman.
Crouch's leg was grabbed by one of the interior linemen as well in the play. Ryan Roberts, I think, got a piece of it. So here he goes, second and long again, 2nd and 11. Crouch on the option, play action, trying to find one down the middle, and the quarterback, they throw the flag on Davison, as Williams and Israel are all over Davison.
Well, the Irish,
unfortunate for the Irish, Pat, because he was not open at all. That ball was going to be incomplete.
He wasn't. And you know, the Irish have been plagued by pass interference calls, really, for last year as well as last week.
Defense, 15 yards.
You know, if you're a quarterback looking at this one, generally you say you don't throw this ball. The wide receiver right here has 2 guys on him. That's Davison, number 3. He's going to run the post route. Brock Williams is there, and over the top comes... Yeah, they knocked him down. Yeah, Ron Israel, number 5.
Israel was looking at the ball all the way, I thought, Pat.
No, I think he ran through him. You still have to get the opportunity to catch him.
Yes, you do.
He ran through him, and I think it's a good call.
I'm not sure Israel took notice of Davison where he was. He was sort of looking at the ball and collided with him along the wood. They sandwiched Davison. So a break for Nebraska. And again, the rush up the middle. Lance Legree. B.J. Scott on the stop for Notre Dame.
Frank Solich. Yeah, Frank Solich. You know, this is probably at the end. If he comes out with a win here, this is going to be a good game, a good learning experience for his team. I mean, the #1 team in the nation. You know, going to a place like this, you find out a lot about your team early in the season.
Both teams are getting a major lesson here today for themselves. A pitch, a good fake. Newcomb, he is shifty. Oh, well played, though. Shane Walton stepped up for Notre Dame on a shifty player in Bobby Newcomb, the wingback.
Some really good tackling the last few series by the corners of Notre Dame. Brock Williams before, this time the other corner, 42, Shane Walton, another former soccer star at Notre Dame. Played his freshman year as all Big East, scored 10 goals, their leading scorer. Another big down here for Nebraska, 3rd and 8.
They are 3 for 11 on 3rd down. Again, Crouch will come up tight, drop back, going the screen. Rover throws his chance even if he caught it. Great coverage and defense by the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. They're going to get the ball back.
I just think Nebraska is seeing some down and distance situations that they just don't have, they don't see often. They're not comfortable in, and they didn't handle well that time. Very slowly developing play at that time.
Would you say it might be the one thing that can be disruptive to their style, their option style? That is third and long.
Yeah.
You're not buying the option quite as well.
Absolutely.
Julius Jones is back. Not Gethero this time. Joey might still be tired after the last one. Fair catching with a man right in his face. And there's the flag. Yes, he was not given room to make the catch. Flag was on the one close of Nebraska. He had fair caught it around the 23, I believe. And that situation in last week's game where Gethero was nailed on a situation where he was not allowed to catch the ball, but he took the price. That time, it was a real poor move.
I think it's interference, non-contact, 5-yard penalty, first down.
Ball will come up to the 30-yard line for Nebraska. As Julius Jones, and you can't blame Nebraska for trying to keep a close eye on these returners. That time it cost them 5 yards.
Notre Dame football is brought to you by Champion, official outfitter of Notre Dame football. It takes a little more to make a champion. By Oldsmobile and your local Oldsmobile dealer. And by the U.S. Army. Be a part of the toughest, smartest Army in the world. Be all you can be.
One of America's most enduring corporate images, the Goodyear blimp floating overhead, providing our aerial views for today's game. The Spirit of Goodyear, one of 7 airships in the Goodyear blimp fleet. Goodyear now has 3 blimps in the United States, 2 in Europe, 1 in South America, and 1 in Australia. And the blimp is capturing some nice pictures today on an afternoon day in Notre Dame. Terrence Howard for a few yards. The latest chapter in a storied history of 2 teams, 2 of the winningest teams in college football history. Some thought might be a bit of a mismatch coming in. Not turned out like that. Number 23
I don't
Irish.
think any of the Nebraska players felt that way. Certainly the Notre Dame players did. But if you look at Frank Solich, you think about Nebraska and the way they and Florida State really have dominated the college football scene over the last 7 years. It's been pretty remarkable.
Twin tight ends. Holloway O'Leary on the left side of the Irish line. The play action for Battle. He's rolling, looking for the tight end Holloway. Well defended. Flag on the play, though. Maybe too well. Sweeney may have got a right hand on Holloway. Looks like it's going to be a pass interference.
Well, I tell you, this Erwin Sweeney is an awfully good player. You know, he might have gotten a hand on the shoulder of the tight end Jabari Holloway. They're the other offensive. They're going to call it offensive. Yeah, Sweeney did it, you know.
Like he did a good job.
Yeah, he's played pretty well all day in the passing game. Remember those guys going man-to-man.
So it's offensive pass interference. And how about that for a...
Pass interference, offense, 15 yards, same down.
Pass interference called against the Irish.
With Jabari Holloway, number 87. Not offensive interference there. That's not pushing off. Maybe it's, I don't know if it's somewhere else. That is not that is not offensive pass. They may have called it offensive pass interference. But that's not offensive pass interference.
15-yard penalty.
Rough call for the Irish. Cost them 15 yards.
That's a bad call.
Boy, they will not like that when they look at the tape. And such a critical spot here, too. Now it's all of a sudden 2nd and 23. We haven't seen too many of these situations in the game.
Quarterback draw.
Battle back. Thought about the draw. Has some room. Up to the 20. Look at him go. For the 30. Ernest Battle to midfield. Down to the 40 of Nebraska. They saw it. They had it. And they saw number 3 somehow fly through like Haley's Comet. 38-yard pickup. Wow.
You know, Greg, anytime you see a formation where you see so many wide receivers spread out, you got to be thinking or worried about a quarterback draw with Arnaz Battle. I mean, he's got vision, he's got speed. I mean, he's not a quarterback right now. He's a running back, and a pretty doggone good one. 38 yards, big play when they needed it after the penalty.
Good call, Pat.
He's got a nice day going, 86 yards.
The Huskers could have used your thoughts before that play.
Well, I think they probably figured that one out, too.
First and 10, reverse to the 39. It's Gethero had the big return. He fell down running into
Mike
the
Gandy.
lineman Gandy in front of him, and he picked up 5 yards.
But you know why he ran into Gandy? Clint Finley, number 19 for the Cornhuskers, did a great job of just kind of standing Mike Gandy up. I mean, Mike Gandy just hit there's Finley, number 19, but he's the one that really caused that play. I believe this is Finley in here. You're watching him. He's going to come back out. Right there. Watch those guys. So it's a good play by Clint Finley, the free safety.
Nowhere to go. 35-yard line. High formation. It's Gibbons in motion. Gives to the deep back. That's Howard for a few yards. Near first down yardage. I think he came up about 2 yards shy. That'll set up 3rd and 2 from the 31. Still long field goal range here for Notre Dame.
Terrence Howard is one of 3 tailbacks that play a lot for Notre Dame. We've seen Julius Jones, who started the game, Tony Fisher, a little bit of the option, but Terrence Howard is a smooth, powerful guy who can really catch the ball out of the backfield. And he is very, very smooth. Get him in some open space. He's got a great strike.
3rd down and 2. Irish 3 out of 9. And 1 for 2 on 3rd down short yardage. Full house backfield behind Battle. It's to the Fisher.
Nope,
he did not get it. He's out about the 30-yard line.
A tough call here for Bob Davie.
47-yard field goal. Nick Setta, the kicker, has only 1 field goal this year, 32 yards, and he is a new kicker. So he has not proven that he can hit the long one. It looks like they're going to go for it.
Well, this is probably a pretty good time if you're going to use the timeout to use one. Notre Dame has 2 of them. You know, I think one thing that affects your play calling is Nebraska is so good at blocking kicks that it has to enter your mind a little bit. They blocked 10 a year ago.
Yeah, you're right. And you got a sophomore kicker who's only had 1 kick in his career. So, big 4th and 1. Battle on the fake. On 4th and 1, he's looking to throw. And he throws it incomplete.
O'Leary
was trickery they tried, didn't work.
But O'Leary was open really early. Dan O'Leary, the tight end, was wide open early. Arnaz Battle could not get him the ball because of some rush, some people in his face. O'Leary's down here. And Arnaz Battle, see O'Leary at the bottom of the screen in here? He was open very early. You know, that's one of those plays on 4th and 1 in the play action. You have a guy, is he going to be wide open early, and you got to get him the ball early. Big play by Nebraska's defense.
Finley had nice coverage after Battle lost his moment. How about the call there, 4th and 1?
You know, I like the call. Yeah. I think you got to get rid of the ball quickly.
21-21, 6:48 to go in the 4th.
Well, it's a tied ball game because of the Irish special teams. 100-yard kickoff return in this second half by Julius Jones. And then Joey Gethero, 83-yard punt return. So it's been a kind of an unconventional second half here for the Irish, but they put up 2 touchdowns via the special teams.
And the Irish knew they were going to need all facets here. Straight up, man for man. Might not be the matchup conventionally, but they have pulled off some of the tricks with the terrific returns, and the defense certainly has played admirably well against this high-powered attack. And out for a couple. But that's been the story. I've said it several, hand off for a couple, or 2 or 3, and it's putting them in the 2nd and long, 3rd and long. LeGree and Harrison on the stop.
We've only seen really Eric Crouch on the you know, you look at the 1st and 2nd half. Eric Crouch had that 162-yard run, but other than that, the Irish have kept him in pretty good check because they forced him to pitch the ball on the options, and then when he runs the veer option, they're allowing him to give the ball to the fullback. So, again, pretty good design by the defense.
14 carries in the game for Crouch. 2nd and 6. Single back fake. Crouch, he can run. He's going to take a sack. Robertson, Boyman Well, I thought Crouch could have taken and gone on forever there. He was actually looking to pass across the field, and he wound up getting sacked by the Notre Dame D.
How about Robin Roberts? He's the one filling in for Grant Irons. Again, beautiful play fake by Crouch. He could have run, you're right, but they were going for the home run. Ryan Roberts steps in for Grant Irons. He gets some help from Rocky Boyman. They first force a 3rd and 12. 5:30 remaining in the ball game.
That was that play Bob Davies been worried about. The quarterback comes out on the option and usually throws to the tight end. Little shovel pass. Alexander has it, but he again runs in to the Notre Dame defense. Anthony Weaver and Anthony Denman on the stop.
Anthony Denman had a good second half.
Man.
Boy, and now who's going back in punt formation is Julius Jones. Whether it's Julius Jones or Joey Getherall, you have a pretty good punt returner. And the student body knows that.
So do the Irish and the Huskers. It's Jones back. Well, you know you've got a great punt returner, too, when you have the other guy. Getherall returned the touchdown. Jones is on the kickoff, and Jones is going to get another shot at the boomer here. Let's see what he does at the 20. Man, right on him, it's DeJuan Gross. Good tackle, great coverage by Gross.
Yeah, he is a really good special teams player, DeJuan Gross. Penalty earlier in the game, but, you know, he should have really been blocked by Shane Walton, number 42, but goes right through the block by Walton and then just hammers Julius Jones. Good play by Gross.
Back at Notre Dame Stadium, 21-21, 4:42 to go down to Bob Wischusen.
Craig, thanks very much. Grant Irons has returned to the sideline in street clothes and a sling. Obviously, he's out of the game with the separated shoulder, but he has been a wild man. Up and down the bench, patting every single guy on his defensive unit on the back. Also, Bob Davie and the defensive coordinator both coming over to the sideline after that last stand, and they let the defense know that if the defense wins this game for the Irish and shuts out Nebraska the rest of the way, they'll probably be able to hang on. Back upstairs to you.
All right. Rocky Boyman has been a big reason why they've held Nebraska to 3 touchdowns. And that is saying something when you talk about the Cornhusker. Oh, 1st and 10, 20. Julius Jones, 4 yards, maybe 5 yards to the 25. You talk about the importance of protecting the ball and security. Now it is really of ultimate importance.
Well, the coaches here at Notre Dame make all the running backs, including Julius Jones, go to class, believe it or not, with a football in their arms. They sleep at night with a football in their arms, and seems to be working.
Covered with a slippery
surface.
2nd and 6, 25 option. Battle got rid of it nicely. Jones turns the corner. Flag is down. Got to the 35-yard line. Flag thrown in the defensive backfield.
Yeah, that back judge, it's usually, they're going to call someone a tight end when that back judge throws that flag. And, you know, it's a holding. He usually looks at the tight ends. Yeah. That officials back in center field, middle of the field, on the defensive side of the ball, their assignment is to really look at tight ends mostly, tight ends and outside linebackers. And
holding offense, spot foul, 10 yards, repeat 2nd down.
Battle did a nice job on the late pitch that time, getting Jones sprung, but the holding penalty on Notre Dame will bring it back.
Well, you know, 2nd and 13, knowing the situation, Arnaz needs to know it's tied up at 21. You have 2 downs to pick up that 1st down. Maybe you run that draw, screen, little trap. Just, you know, don't take a sack, and certainly don't throw the interception. Don't force the ball.
2nd and 13, 5 penalties for Notre Dame now, 49 yards. Shotgun formation.
And there is some confusion.
Battle on the pitch. Shovel pass. Return the favorite to Terrence Howard. And he got a few yards. The Huskers tried that one in the last series. Still going to be 3rd and long.
Yeah, but a nice call. I mean, it's kind of a safe little pass. If he drops it, remember, it is not a fumble. This would be an incomplete pass. But you invite everybody upfield in the shotgun formation and try to slip something underneath him.
Nebraska played that very well. In fact, the defense for Nebraska, let's give them credit. They've done a very good job allowing just 1 touchdown against the Fighting Irish and really negating the passing game. 2 for 13 for Battle. Just 34 yards passing. May have to do it here. 3rd and 7. Battle's going to throw it. This one is way overthrown. He was hit as he was blitzed and hit hard as he was going for Getherall. Vandenbosch put on the pressure, and Notre Dame will have to punt.
Yeah, Vandenbosch and a couple of linebackers were all around Arnaz Battle. Really didn't have any kind of chance. Man-for-man coverage up here inside. Polk, you can see all the outside guys as well. It's just a matter of time till they get to the quarterback, and you were hoping that your wide receiver, Joey Getherall, could just get to that post a little bit faster and give him a chance to catch it.
Looked like he got rid of the ball cleanly, actually.
Yeah.
He was hit right after the release. I don't know if that affected the pass or not. Maybe rushed him a little bit, however. You can sense the pressure.
Nice punt.
Here's the punt by Hilbold. It is a good one. Joe Walker, 32. And the flag is called again on the reception as Clifford Jefferson came in and may not have given the yardage. There's so much excitement and anticipation in this game. The return man appeared not to be giving the receiving guys some room.
You know, I think it's got to be awfully hard for a guy running down the field because, you know, you see the guy about to catch. You know it's not a fair catch because he doesn't raise his hand, but just don't exactly know when the ball's going to arrive.
Catch interference, 5 yards.
It's going to be on Clifford Jefferson, number 15. You need to give the guy 2 yards. Close call, but you know,
that's a rough call. That is a rough call. You're coming down to receive. The guy doesn't call a fair catch. There is some risk of not calling a fair catch.
Right.
It's a tough call.
But you have to give him 2 yards. You have to give him 2 yards. He was right on that border.
It's only a 5-yard penalty. It's not a major issue. Either way, 1st and 10, 39-yard line. I formation. Alexander over the 40 to about the 42. Driver on the stop. It'll be 2nd and 6.
3 minutes left in this ball game. Tied at 21. Nebraska has all 3 timeouts and perhaps the best offensive line in America. But they're going to have to get a couple of big plays. They can't just grind it out. They're going to need to get Eric Crouch on the perimeter at least once or twice.
Inside 2:40 now. On 2nd and 6. Alexander again plunging ahead. The Huskers ideally would like to use up that clock and rumble downfield for the chance to hit the field goal or the touchdown for the win.
Well, their kicker, Josh Brown, his long is 42 yards, so they've got a considerable amount of yardage to pick up to give him a chance. Now, biggest play of the game coming up right now with 2:10 left in the ball game. Game time.
If we're tied at the end of regulation, we'll go to the overtime, of course. 2 minutes to go. 3rd and 2. Alexander hit in the backfield again.
Denman. Anthony Denman again.
Denman again, and the first stop, and now what do? You have to punt, don't you?
I would punt here.
You have to punt.
Absolutely.
4th and 2, and it's a long 2.
But I tell you, Anthony Denman, he has been spectacular this second half. Short yardage, long yardage, you know, inside plays, blitzing in the passing game. You know, as good as Julius Jones here, you may want to, I'm surprised that Joey Getherall is not back now. He's the guy that returned it, what, 83 yards for the touchdown.
Julius went 100 on the kickoff.
Yeah.
Jones at the 16-yard line. Trying to find some room. Somehow does find some room. But he gets up to the 30-yard line before Gross again brought him down. Irish will take over at the 30-yard line. A 15-yard return, 38-yard punt.
To Anthony Denman, number 39. Going to come from the inside here. There he is right there. And again, just kind of knifing in. That was, he had some big plays this game, particularly the second half, but none bigger than that one. Forcing the punt and giving the Irish the ball with a little bit over a minute to go in the game. And 2 timeouts. Now, for Bob Davie, it's tough because his kicker, although he was 1 for 1 last week, he has not been tested much.
They're going to have to move fairly quickly, but they do have 2 timeouts. Battle across the 30. Falls down at about the 34-yard line as he nearly ran into big Kurt Bowlers. And the clock is ticking at 52 seconds and moving. And they're really too far back to think timeout because they're on their own side of the field here.
I still think he should be getting in and out of huddle. They have reasonably good field position. I mean, I'm surprised they're going to let this one run out.
Are they playing for overtime, huh?
Yeah, that's the way they look at it now.
I'm not playing an overtime game, but 96.
Yeah, you saw the quarterback draw. She could have thrown screens. There's some safe stuff you can do in these circumstances.
Battle's going to keep. That's fairly safe. Trying to shake and bake. Gets to the 37. Jason Lohr in the stop. Crowd getting a little frustrating watching the seconds go away. The Irish may feel their best bet is to take the #1 team to overtime.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with that. You have some receivers here in Notre Dame's case, but guys like Joey Gethro, you saw him on the punt return. I don't think you need to throw the ball over the middle, but you can throw them maybe a quick screen, one of those bubble screens, and give them a chance to do something after the catch, but they're going to overtime.
Did not want to risk turning the ball over. He's going to take his chances in OT. Last game for Notre Dame in overtime was November 30th of 96 at USC. They lost 27-20. Last season, Nebraska won late in the year the Big 12 game at Colorado, 33-30. And here are the overtime rules, Pat. Coin toss for the right to play.
Yeah, you always
team will
defense.
get a shot.
Right. If you win the toss, you choose to play defense, of course, so you know what your offense has to do.
25-yard line, you get a series each. If one of you scores, the other doesn't, game over. Each team will retain the ball by getting a first down or scoring. Repeat it until the winner is determined. You do get a timeout. New rule last year, beginning with the third series that you have, if you score the TD, you have to go for the 2 points. Pat, this game has been such a terrific game. It has kind of a spoiling way to finish it in the overtime, but this is how they do it in these days in college
because
football.
I think from here on in, it comes down so much to the kickers.
Yeah. And from the 25, but Nebraska is #1 to hold on to the ranking, and they're undefeated early part of the season. They're going to have to knock off Notre Dame. We are going to overtime in South Bend. Craig Minervini with Pat Hayden. We are in overtime here at Notre Dame, 21-21. 2 special teams touchdowns. The Irish, the comeback. Nebraska won the toss, and I believe they chose to defend first.
Yeah, it's exactly what you want to do. You want to find out what you have to do on your offensive series. If the Fighting Irish kick a field goal, then you know at least, if the touchdown wins it.
It also puts the pressure on the younger Notre Dame offense to put something on the board. And keep in mind, 14 of the 21 points came from special teams.
Yeah, and I think, the biggest thing going into this overtime is 2 kickers that, haven't been into this situation a lot. Nebraska's kicker didn't kick last week. Notre Dame's kicker, Nick Seta, just kicked 1 field goal last week. So
something you don't see a lot in college football, particularly in a game of this magnitude. The #1 team in the country, the number 23 Irish, all the tradition between the 2 schools. The Irish were a heavy underdog coming into this game at home. And it's turned out to be a beauty.
And Bob Davie would love a home run from Julius Jones right now.
1st and 10, 25. Jones for about 2, maybe 3. Pushed back on the play by Carlos Polk, the linebacker who stepped up.
Carlos Polk has great vision. Remember Craig Bohl, the defensive coordinator, was saying about Carlos Polk this week. He's a little bit like a running back. He has that vision, sees the hole, and he gets the hole just like a running back would. Oftentimes the running back's on the other side of that hole.
You're almost already in long field goal range, even if you don't move it any further. It's about a 40-yarder right now. They're obviously looking for the 6, and they can get the first down as well. 2nd and 9. Gave him just 1 battle.
Oh, it's holding. Tight end got held big time. O'Leary.
Now Battle moving. Battle's got some room left side. Gets a block. Battle to the 20. There is a flag down inside the 10. Knocked down at the 8-yard line.
It's a flag on Nebraska. Dan O'Leary, the tight end, was held badly.
Well, if that's the case, they'll decline it.
Yep.
Take the run from the quarterback Battle. But let's see. You got it.
Dan O'Leary, the tight end, was just trying to sneak out. He's right in here. Watch what happens. And this is kind of a pretty easy call. Yeah, jersey on him.
Defense.
And good reactions here by Arnaz Battle. One thing in a long season, I would think, Craig, you want Arnaz at this point to get out of bounds. You don't separate the shoulder. Get out of bounds. You're too valuable to this team.
I agree with you, Pat, but I don't think they were thinking.
No, he wasn't. Great impromptu play by Arnaz Battle, a guy that can do that.
Hey, he was almost saying hello to Frank Solich on the other side of the set. Came all the way back, got a couple of great blocks, and didn't let up when he saw the flag come down either, which is right in front of him. 1st and goal at the 8-yard line. Don't forget, Nebraska will get a shot even if the Irish score. Gibbons was in motion. Jones got a little room, right tackle side. Got to the 5. Kaiser brought him down. 2nd and goal for the 5.
There was a touchdown there, saved by Lauren Kaiser, the tackle, number 91. There was a crease there that Julius Jones saw when he got that ball, and I saw it from up here. I thought he was going to burst into it. But it was Kaiser right down here, slides down and closes the hole. Watch the hole. See the hole there? Oh, boy, that's a touchdown if Kaiser doesn't make the play.
2nd and goal from the 5. Lipinski is the fullback. Jones the tailback in the I formation. Receivers split left and right. Jones gets it up the middle, and he's met quickly by Carlos Polk. He might have gotten a yard, but a good play by 13, the linebacker from Rockford, Illinois.
Yeah, Kaiser again low that time, Polk up high.
It'll be 3rd and goal. It's a long 3.
Boy, again, I think a play with Arnaz Battle having a couple of options. Run, pass. They get 1 timeout in the overtime period. A good use of a timeout there by Arnaz Battle.
So Arnaz will come to the sidelines as Nick Seta right there, the field goal kicker, a sophomore, may have the opportunity to put Notre Dame ahead. And Battle's going to talk it over.
Well, he's not thinking field goal right now, I promise you.
No.
I mean, they're thinking, hey, how can I get 3 yards? And to me, Arnaz Battle is such a dangerous guy. A little bit like Crouch on the perimeter. Get him, you just say no timeouts remaining. Get him outside. Give him a chance, a run pass kind of option. Maybe Craig, where you can run it and throw it in.
Now, he hasn't been great on the touch on the pass part today.
No.
However, it does give you that option if somebody comes up. It might be the play that they will go with. He's only 3 for 15 passing in the entire game. We talk so much, Pat, about the mystique here at Notre Dame, especially against the #1 teams. And look at their overall record against the #1s at home, 3-3. But they come off 2 incredibly impressive wins over Miami in '88. And they made the gutsy 2-point conversion try, didn't work out. And Florida State. And Bobby Newcomb is feeling the pressure of early season pressure of #1 right now. Nebraska got everything you could have expected. Everything the coach said about this game and more. They hope the coaches, that the players bought into it. Gibbons in motion, 3rd and goal. Battle in some trouble. He's caught back at the 11-yard line by Jerry Selecta, and that'll push the field goal back to about a 28, 29-yard try.
Great play by Selecta, number 56, but Notre Dame was doing just what we thought, trying to get him on the perimeter with a run-pass option. Selecta got real good closing speed for a tackle. I mean, you don't talk about that much with a defensive tackle. And now the field goal attempt by Nick Seta.
So Nick Seta, a sophomore who has 1 kick in his career, a 32-yarder good last week. Had a great preseason to earn the #1 job.
Remember how good Nebraska is at kicking, particularly these guys right there.
29-yarder left hash. Seta up and good. So Nick Seta, with a lot of pressure for a young kicker, hits the big one for Notre Dame. Now the focus goes to the Irish D and the Cornhusker offense. Nebraska knows they'll get it at 25. If they can score a touchdown, the game is there.
Absolutely. You have to be thinking, your play selection has to be thinking certainly about touchdown. Nebraska has guys in the back that they call, in the second row, called jumpers. The guy up front are called grubbers, but you see the guys in the back, Vanderbush, number 83 in particular, blocked 3 kicks last year. But good height by Seta, and they're up by 3. Seta is an incredible athlete, Craig. 6'10" height jumper in high school.
24-21. Nebraska takes over now at the 25, and they get one series here. Touchdown, they win. Field goal will force another series for each team. Crouch, he's on the keeper. Pitching to Alexander, and the Huskers have seen that tune all day long. Shane Walton came up to bang out Alexander.
And once again, the defense forces the pitch. They said, hey, Eric Crouch is the best runner on this Nebraska team. What we need to do is force the pitch. Rocky Boyman, number 30, did that. And then Shane Walt comes up and stuffs the tackle. So Nebraska has to call, I think, a quarterback designated run. Really giving Crouch the chance to run. No option for him.
No gain. Maybe a yard now. 2nd and 9, 24-yard line. Crouch is going to pass. Screenplay, throwing, and it's incomplete. He was going for Wilson Thomas, a guy that the Notre Dame Irish probably wouldn't figure to be in the play. Shane Walton in the coverage.
Craig, I'm really surprised at that call. This is not Nebraska's strong suit. Remember, they're already down by 3. You don't need a touchdown now, necessarily, right? Wow. 3 points keeps you in the game. So, at a minimum, make sure you give your field goal kicker a little better shot. That's a surprising call to me to force a 3rd and 9 now. They'll use their timeout, will Nebraska?
They threw it at a sophomore who never had a catch in his college career. And they tried to fool Notre Dame because Thomas has not even caught the ball. Now you're right. They're looking at a 42-yard field goal. They don't pick up any distance. And they've got a kicker. Last year went 1 for 4 between the 40 and 49-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's not the play. I would take Crouch on the option or a quarterback keep in the perimeter, or at a minimum run something inside to pick up 4 or 5 maybe to give your field goal kicker a little bit more of an opportunity to have a chip shot. So now this becomes, really critical play. 2 things going through the quarterbacks and the coach's mind. Hey, if minimum we have to pick up 4 or 5 yards to make it a little bit more reasonable, field goal attempt. And then, don't turn the ball over. If you're going to throw the ball, don't force the ball. He's thrown 3 interceptions this year. 3.
They still have the option at 3rd and 9.
Right, absolutely. Quarterback draws. Anything with Crouch in his hand and ball in his hand.
Seen a lot of the rolls one way, throw back across the field the other way. Crouch 6 for 14 with the INT passing.
They're going to have 3 wide outs in this formation.
Crouch will line up under center. Swings to the right. Receiver is Thomas to the left. Single setback, Alexander. Crouch back to pass, straight drop back over the middle, complete. Wisdom has got it.
Oh, boy.
And I believe he has the first down.
I think he does, too. Great throw, patient throw by Eric Crouch. Wow. Yeah, that gets him the first down. Boy, Winstrom did a great job of running the route, bouncing off a linebacker. I mean, he was covered, kind of bounced off a linebacker. He's number 87, the right part of your screen. It's a big passing lane there. The quarterback throws it away from the defender, the on-rushing Denman. A good throw and a good route by Winston.
1st and 10 at the 15-yard line in overtime. Notre Dame scored a field goal, their chance. Hand off, Alexander breaking free of Denman. And he picked up 8 yards. Boyman helped to make the stop with Driver. But this is where Nebraska wants to be then. Now 2nd and short.
Yeah, this is where their offensive line, it really is so good. Benoti, number 77, kind of dominating his guy. Big hole there. Dave Volk, Raiola, the center, did a good job of cutting his guy. Again, touchdown wins the game for Nebraska.
Notre Dame does not get a second shot if Nebraska gets the touchdown. Crouch, he has it, going for the end zone.
I haven't seen a signal. Have you?
I didn't see a signal, but the referees are running off, and it's a touchdown, and Nebraska has won the game.
Eric interception plays. Boy, did he get a good block by Dan Alexander, too.
The Nebraska Cornhuskers in overtime. And fittingly on the shoulders of their leader, Eric Crouch, with his third rushing touchdown of the game for the second straight week. And this one is a crusher for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish in a sensational finish here at Notre Dame.
Well, watch the block by number 38, too. And not only the strong run by Crouch, but the last block there by Dan Alexander allowed Crouch to get in the end zone, who's as dynamic a runner inside the 10 as you see in college football. The last push.
Yeah, Williams was knocked down. Walton, actually it was Driver, tried to catch him and couldn't do it. And what a great run by Eric Crouch. Let's go down to Bob Wischusen.
All right, Coach, congratulations. That had to be as exciting a game as you've ever been a part of.
Well, it was a great football game. I thought both teams played exceptionally hard for 4 quarters. No one gave up. It was really a close one down to the end, of course. It did not look very good when they kicked that field goal, and we had that third and medium, and we were able to pick that up. It was a key play to keep that drive along. We have so far last year had one game like this, and we were able to pull it out in overtime. I pay great tribute to Notre Dame, their coaches, their football team. They did a great job. I'm very proud of our kids to be able to come back. I thought that, you know, Notre Dame did a great job on special teams, and we let the 2 long returns, and that really killed us, gave them a lot of momentum, and it was tough to battle back, but our kids did it.
What does this now mean for your team, winning a game this early in the season in this type of atmosphere? You're number 1. We know that this is a good football team, but what does it do for you for the rest of the season?
They're a very proud football team. They felt they could come in here and get it done. We knew it would not be easy. We feel Notre Dame's an excellent team against A&M. They played very strong in all phases of the game. So in order to come in here and get it done on their field is big time, and I think our kids deserve a lot of credit for it. I also feel Notre Dame deserves a lot of credit for the way they played today.
Coach, congratulations. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys.
Set back upstairs, Craig.
Thank you, Bob. Today's Chevrolet players of the game, Eric Crouch, surprise, surprise, from Nebraska. Julius Jones from Notre Dame. In recognition of their efforts, Chevrolet will make a contribution to each school's general scholarship fund. The Chevrolet Scholarship Program has been a tradition for 30 years. Once again, the final score from Notre Dame Stadium. It's the Nebraska Cornhuskers 27, the Irish 24 in overtime. Coming up tonight on NBC. Don't miss the Brady Bunch movie at 8/7 Central. And then after that, stick around for the Hispanic Heritage Awards at NBC Special. For Pat Haid, for Bob Wischusen and the entire crew, Craig Minervini saying so long from South Bend, Indiana.